All right, we are live with longtime Cardinal Gibbons coach Frank Pettineo. He is now retired and handing his program over to a couple kids who wrestled for him back in high school, went on to do big things in college, and now are coming back to coach at their alma mater and bring some young blood into the program. So I've got Coach Frank Pettineo, and then I have one half of the Morris twins. The ugly half never comes on. I don't know why, but the good-looking half we always get. And so we're here. What's up, guys? How you doing? I know Frank is in North Carolina, and Jamel is chasing that 50% sale at Burlington. What's up, guys?
Doing good. Trying to stay busy.
I'm trying to rest up here.
Nice. What part of North Carolina?
Cashiers, Western Carolina.
Nice. I know we've been to Blue Ridge before, and we've been to Asheville before.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of. We've been coming up to the Carolina area. In fact, I brought the team to Appalachian and to NC State and to UNC many times.
Nice. I took my boys up to the App State camp last year, and I was looking forward to it again this year. It didn't happen, obviously, but and then I met Coach Scotty Sentis too. So if he's listening, I'm a Campbell University fan now. I also have to go to that camp with my kids, or else he'll get really angry with me. So
yeah, Scotty's he's a good kid.
Yeah, well, thanks guys for coming on. I know Frank, you're really excited about the next chapter in Cardinal Gibbons. With these young men coming in there and bringing some new energy. And I know there's been a lot of history of the program. Go ahead and tell us how historic Cardinal Gibbons has been.
Well, I started the program back in 1988. Gibbons didn't really have a team. They had some things about 10 years earlier, but never really have a team. So we've been very fortunate over the years to have a pretty solid turnout, which is the biggest key. We get an average of about 75 to 80 kids out a year, which is great. But we've had a great set of alumni that have stayed with us since '88. And this year, I turned it over to the twins. I didn't eject myself completely. I'll be helping them, but from a different level. My health hasn't been as good as it needs to be, so I've got to go into rest mode. But these guys were two of my best. So, I waited for them to graduate school before I gave it over to somebody. I wanted to make sure an alumni had it. And not only alumni, a respected alumni. The two of them are highly respected at the school and in the community. So I think that we've made the right decision, and will assist. And myself and the alumni will continue to assist them to make them successful.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I got to meet him on a call that we did together, just he and I. Well, once again, his brother didn't show up. And then, and then he and I have really kept in touch. We text back and forth once in a while, just talking about life and wrestling and stuff like that. I get to learn a lot from him, and I think Cardinal Gibbons is in good hands.
Well, they listen. My first idea with them was to get them on staff, and they're both on staff, which has been the thing. I'm probably one of the only off-campus coaches in the area that has the kind of program that we have. But I knew that they needed to be on staff, so that was my first goal with them. And they've done great. I mean, I'll give you a little story. When Jamel and Jamal first started Cardinal Gibbons, they found some money on the sidewalk. So most people, as you know, in today's world, it's their money. Jamel and Jamal brought it to the front office and said they found this. And from that point on, the principal and the dean and the rest of the administration just had nothing but complete respect for them, and that's the kind of things they do. So that's why I was so proud to help them out to get them started. They were on we've had 5 state titles. They were on 2 of them. We had our first state title back in 2002, 3, and 5. So we've been on the top 3 or 4 for many years. But again, Jamel and Jamal are some of the best. In fact, this year, I decided to step down as we hit Cardinal Gibbons hit 110 wins this year, or excuse me, 1,010 this year. So we have 1,010 wins. I think that's something to write home about with the kids that we have and the alumni. I mean, right now they've got a lot of young kids on the program with a lot of young kids coming in. So we're real happy.
Yeah, I mean, I got a text from him, says he's taking home the trophy next year, so he's motivated.
What he's got in the cupboard is certainly able to do that. I mean, we've the difference between Cardinal Gibbons and some other schools is academically it's a pretty solid school. Some schools are a little different than others, but Cardinal Gibbons, a B is a B. You know what I mean? You're going to have to earn those grades as well as earn the spots on the team.
Yeah, this is my 105th show since April 6th for wrestling, and it's been super cool. But what was even cooler is I hit him up, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, and I'm like, hey man, what does Bass Diaz look like up close? Because I was watching the video and I'm like, hey, I know that guy in the corner now. And he's like, yeah, man, Bass is a beast. But I was watching the video because I had recorded all the 1A state matches because, that's where my son is in 1A. So as I was looking back at him, I was like, hey, I know that dude now. He's in the corner.
Well, I put it this year. I made sure both the twins were in the corner this year because, I mean, listen, they are second to no one in the room. In the wrestling room and training with the kids. They're actually too nice for most wrestling people. They're just honest, nice guys. So they were. I made sure they were in the corner for these two guys we had in the States, and they did a great job. And that experience will carry with them.
Yeah, listen. Like I said, I got to be on the air a few weeks with him, and since then we've been going back and forth and just talking, and I'm really honored to know him. So it's been great.
Now they're also going to continue. Yeah, they're also going to continue the college tournament that we host, which is the Citrus Invitational, which is running for about 30 years. Last couple of years it was at the Broward County Convention Center. It'll be at the Deerfield Convention Center because they're building this year. But that's in the same thing with St. Thomas Robert Wimberley running the South Beach Duel. So we run them together. And they also brought down the Division I tournament. So that's great for South Florida wrestling.
Yeah, you've got some good tournaments there. And what did someone tell me about? Do you have girls at the Citrus Open?
Do I have what?
Are there girls? Is there a girls bracket at the Citrus Open, or is that at South Beach?
That's South Beach.
Okay, because I remember I was talking to somebody and they said 2 years ago was like 6 girls, and then last year it was over 60. So it's obviously been growing, and that's awesome. Well, good. So I think you kind of talked about the history of the program, and then you kind of went into why you chose the twins to take over the program, and you obviously.
Hold on one second, guys. Hey, I got lawn guys here, and they're making noise.
Oh, well, that's not good.
No, we have the South Beach schools. They have that. Citrus Invitational is a Division III tournament. So it's a Division III tournament that we run, and if the Division III teams have girls on it, they'll be welcome in there. If they don't, it's not an open tournament; it's an invitational tournament. Dual meet, an invitational.
Nice. So we understand that you chose the twins. It sounds like because of their personality, their coot. They're very respected. It's their alma mater. They know about wrestling, and talk a little bit about how the room is going to be now with somebody like those boys coming in with some ACC Division I wrestling under their belt and being able to start to teach some things that from that level to kind of make these kids better.
Well, they did that this year. We had an extremely young team this year, and they really stepped up because I let the twins, run the practices and be involved in that whole program, and they've got it down pat from the morality, which is essential at Cardinal Gibbons, to the technique that's necessary to get these guys out to the higher level. We've got a lot of kids in college over the years, as you know, a lot of Division III, a lot of the military academies. We've done very well because of the academics of the school. So the twins, as I give you an example, they probably dismissed more kids off the team than I did in probably 5 years. They don't tolerate too much. They don't tolerate much, and I back them 150%.
Yeah. So I know that in the wrestling rooms you don't want to cut kids just because Maybe they're not as good as the other kids, but you definitely want to cut them if they're trouble, right?
Well, they're not being cut because of ability. They're being cut because of practice attitude. Some, especially when you get a lot of the football players up, they think that they can skip 3 days of practice just because they're good.
That's not going to happen.
It doesn't work that way. No, it's not going to happen. You either come every day like the rest of the team. Even though wrestling is such an individual sport, it is also you're not going to get any better wrestling yourself. You need other team members to push each other. And that being said, Jamel and Jamal know how to do that.
Well, and I'd imagine, I mean, how old are you guys? Like 23, 24?
25 last
25.
week.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday.
They just had a big birthday. They had a big birthday. They're all excited.
So those boys, they still have the ability when the boys start talking a little crap in the room to hit the mat and roll with them, huh?
Oh yeah. Me and Jamal have like a little thing going. Like if the kids take us down, they get one of like a wrestling shoes or NC State gear. They took Jamal down like 2-3 times. They haven't took me down yet. So they're still trying to.
That's why Jamal doesn't come on here.
He's a little embarrassed.
Well, ironically, even though they're twins, they do both bring something different to the table.
Yeah, well, I can tell because one is going to be the guy that sits at the press table and talks to the public, and the other one's going to be in the back taking care of the gritty stuff.
Well, one of them likes paperwork and one of them doesn't.
Yeah.
But
I'll say tolerate.
Yeah. Well, to me, they're both, like I said, they're both going to do the job, and they're going to, it's a team effort for all of us. I mean, I don't know if you know some of our stuff, but Gibbons has got quite a number of wins and victories across the board, and a lot of that is because of the type of kid that Jamel and Jamal is. That's the kind of kid we look for.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm from South Florida originally, and I graduated from Miami Beach Senior High back when Coach Camerati was the wrestling coach there. And they had a really good program back then. They had a guy that won the state championship in '94, James. And what was cool is I was looking kind of to see the area that your school is, and it's kind of similar to where Miami Beach High is, where you're like 3 blocks from the ocean. I mean, you can't beat that, man. That's got to be some good stuff, man. So, man, I appreciate you guys coming on, and I appreciate you guys talking all the stuff about Gibbons. I've got some of the 10 questions for you guys, though. You guys ready?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Burger Fi or Jack's Old Fashioned?
Jack's.
Both at the same time. Angelo's or Paisanos?
Angelo's.
Ooh, a little, excuse me, differences there. Okay. Las Olas Beach or Fort Lauderdale Beach?
Fort
Lauderdale Beach.
Seminole Casino or Hard Rock?
Hard Rock.
The Dana's Fishing Pier or Angling's Fishing Pier?
I haven't really fished off a pier yet.
Oh, well, check it out. It's fun.
Angela.
All right. The Swap Shop or Flea Market USA?
Flea Market.
Swap Shop.
Florida
I don't
stone
go to too
crabs.
many of them.
Florida stone crabs or Florida lobster?
Florida lobster.
Ooh. High school scoring or NCAA scoring?
NCAA.
NCAA scoring.
High crotch or double leg?
Double leg.
All right, this one's for you, Coach. Well, retired Coach. Jamal or Jamel?
Both.
I can't get anybody to pick them. I had Maki and I had Mock on too.
Listen,
and I was like Jamal or Jamel, and he wouldn't pick them.
Like I told you, that the issue is they both bring something very important to the table. So I mean, even though they have the head coach, Jamal will run a lot of the feeder programs that they've set together. Jamal will do like the tournament stuff. Jamel will make sure that's organized. They really complement each other very well. So I'm very happy with them. And they have a lot of alumni that are going to stick by them. I mean, even though that I'm retired from the actual coaching, I'll still be, what they're calling me, head of wrestling operations to make sure that all the stuff gets done until they're ready to take it all over. They've got the room and they've got the other stuff. That's why I gave it to them.
Nice. Well, I'm sure they're very appreciative of you, and I'm sure you've meant a lot in their life and their career. And I'm
they
sure
think I adopted them.
Yeah, he's looking forward to standing in that 2-hour line. Have you gotten there yet, Jamel?
Not yet. 10 minutes out.
Woo!
All right. Well, listen. Thank you very much for having us on, and thank you for doing what's the base for wrestling and really promoting the sport as you do.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure, and I hope to see more of these boys. I've really had a good time with them.
Oh, you will. Like I said, they're a top-notch crew, and everyone at the school and in the community that I put together is really behind them 100%.
Yeah. Hey, and that you guys are in 1A as well, right?
Yeah, we're in 1A.
Yeah. So you guys got there's a fight now in 1A, huh? The big boys have taken off, and now you got you got a pretty good battle there with you and Somerset and American Heritage. So
well, the last 4 or 5 years, one has been from what do you call?
Tough.
One has been we've 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, and 5 have been from the same region every year.
Yeah,
so,
I see that. I see it when I look at the rankings. So it'll be fun to see who takes that spot over.
It'll be a battle between American Heritage Delray, Somerset, us, and Jensen Beach. Will all be the winner of that region could be the winner of their states.
I want to see you and Blasucci go at it in quicksand.
Well, the last time we wrestled, we beat him the last time we wrestled. Doesn't make a difference.
All right.
We're 1-0.
1-0. I think he would. If I had him on right now, he'd probably say different, right?
Well, if you talk to him, the Lord made the world, and then they made Blasucci.
Well, he's a good man. All right, thank you so much, guys.
I don't even listen. Everybody's good for wrestling. Everybody has their own personality, and we're all in it to make the sport of wrestling a better sport.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, enjoy the Carolinas. Jamel, I know we'll be in touch. Hey, you take care, man.
Okay.
You too.
All right. Hasta la vista, guys. Thanks.
See you guys.
See ya.